the quiet town of Cedarwood, nestled among leafy trees and blooming gardens, there stood a house on Maple Street that was the subject of many whispered conversations and uneasy glances. The house, with its Victorian architecture and weathered facade, had been vacant for years, and the townsfolk claimed it was haunted by a restless spirit. It all began when the Mitchell family moved in. Sarah and Michael Mitchell, along with their daughter Lily, were eager to start fresh in the charming town. They had been drawn to the house's old-world charm and spacious rooms, despite the rumors of its haunted past. Little did they know, their dream home would soon become a nightmare. From the moment they moved in, strange occurrences began to plague the family. It started with small things, objects moving on their own, unexplained cold spots, and eerie whispers that seemed to come from nowhere. Sarah, ever the skeptic, dismissed these events as coincidences, but Michael and Lily were not so sure. One night, as the family sat down for dinner, they heard a loud crash coming from the basement. Michael grabbed a flashlight and cautiously descended the creaky stairs, only to find a shattered mirror on the floor. He felt a chill run down his spine as he noticed the words, "Leave now," scrawled in the dust on the mirror's surface. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah began to research the history of the house. She discovered that the previous owner, a widow named Eleanor Hawthorne, had died under mysterious circumstances. The townsfolk believed that Eleanor's spirit still lingered in the house, unable to find peace. As Sarah delved deeper into the house's history, she uncovered a series of tragic events that had occurred within its walls. From unexplained deaths to disappearances, it seemed that the house on Maple Street was a magnet for misfortune. The haunting grew more aggressive with each passing day. At night, the family could hear ghostly footsteps echoing through the halls, and Lily often woke up screaming, claiming to have seen a ghostly figure standing at the foot of her bed. Doors slammed shut on their own, and the temperature in the house would drop suddenly, leaving the family shivering in fear. One evening, as Sarah was preparing dinner, she felt an icy hand brush against her shoulder. She spun around, but no one was there. Heart pounding, she turned back to the stove, only to see the flames flicker and die out, leaving the kitchen in darkness. Panic set in as she fumbled for a flashlight, but the lights suddenly flickered back on, revealing the ghostly figure of Eleanor Hawthorne standing in the doorway. Realizing that they could no longer ignore the haunting, Sarah and Michael decided to seek help from a local paranormal investigator, David Mills. David was known for his expertise in dealing with supernatural phenomena and had a reputation for uncovering the truth behind ghostly occurrences. David arrived at the house armed with an array of equipment: EMF meters, thermal cameras, and audio recorders. He set up his gear and began his investigation, determined to capture evidence of the haunting and uncover the reasons behind Eleanor's restless spirit. As David conducted his investigation, he recorded several chilling EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, sessions. The ghostly whispers that filled the recordings were unmistakably those of Eleanor Hawthorne, pleading for help and warning the family to leave. Eleanor's spirit, whispering, "Help me, they won't let me rest, leave while you can." David also captured disturbing images on his thermal camera, showing an otherworldly presence moving through the house. The temperature fluctuations and electromagnetic anomalies further confirmed the presence of a restless spirit. Through his research, David discovered that Eleanor had not died of natural causes, but had been murdered by an intruder who had broken into the house. Her spirit had remained trapped, seeking justice and closure for her untimely death. David believed that by uncovering the identity of her killer, they could help Eleanor find peace. Working together, David, Sarah, and Michael began to piece together the clues from the night of Eleanor's murder. They uncovered old police reports, interviewed former neighbors, and examined the house for hidden evidence. As they dug deeper, they discovered a hidden diary belonging to Eleanor, detailing her fears and suspicions in the days leading up to her death. Eleanor's diary revealed that she had been stalked by a man she referred to as the Shadow. She believed he was responsible for a string of burglaries in the neighborhood and feared he would come for her next. Her suspicions were tragically confirmed on the night of her death. Armed with this information, David contacted the local police, who reopened the cold case. They were able to identify a suspect, a career criminal who had been active in the area at the time of Eleanor's murder. With the new evidence, the police were able to bring the suspect to justice, finally giving Eleanor the closure she needed. As the news of the arrest spread, the atmosphere in the house began to change. The ghostly occurrences grew less frequent, and the oppressive feeling that had hung over the house began to lift. One night, as the family gathered in the living room, they felt a warm breeze and heard a soft whisper. Eleanor's spirit, whispering, "Thank you, can rest now." A sense of peace settled over the house, and the family knew that Eleanor's spirit had finally found rest. The house on Maple Street, once a place of fear and tragedy, was now a home filled with love and light. With the haunting behind them, the Mitchell family decided to stay in the house on Maple Street. They honored Eleanor's memory by restoring the house to its former glory and opening its doors to the community. The house became a symbol of resilience and hope, a testament to the power of uncovering the truth and finding peace. Sarah continued her work as a writer, documenting their experiences in a best-selling book titled The Ghost of Maple Street. Her story captivated readers and brought attention to the importance of addressing and resolving the lingering spirits of the past. David, having successfully resolved the haunting, became a sought-after paranormal investigator, helping other families facing similar experiences. He remained a close friend of the Mitchells, often visiting them and sharing stories of his latest adventures. As for the house on Maple Street, it remained a beloved part of the community, a reminder that even in the face of fear and uncertainty, the truth could bring healing and peace. Years later, the house on Maple Street continued to stand as a beacon of hope and resilience. The Mitchell family had grown, and Lily, now an adult, had followed in her mother's footsteps, becoming a writer and paranormal investigator. One evening, as Lily sat in the library, she felt a familiar, warm breeze and heard a soft whisper. Eleanor's spirit, whispering, "Thank you for remembering me." Lily smiled, knowing that Eleanor's spirit would always watch over them, a guardian of the house that had once been her prison. The legacy of the haunting on Maple Street lived on, a reminder of the power of truth, justice, and the enduring bond between the living and the dead.